It looked like Rodgers in Green Bay, to the T. The touchdown to Garrett, it's just like, that's Devontae. I've seen that play 100 times. It's Rodgers to number 17 with this pretty little spiral, and he throws it right over the corner. The reverse angle of it is beautiful. The one we showed the game angle, if you see from the end zone, this is just one step, pass rush can't get to you, perfect ball, really good coverage, doesn't matter, and then 17 goes up and grabs it. I think this is going to work, and I want to be on record as it now in the preseason. We've talked for 6 months, it feels like. Is it going to flop? Can they protect him? Is it going to really take? I think it's going to work really, really well. Really well. And I'll tell you, there's only one way of really going all in. So, fantasy draft last night. I had the number 1 overall pick in a non-PPR league, old-fashioned. My guys from 25 years doing this league. I take McCaffrey number 1 overall, all right? You wait. It comes all the way back to you. My second pick, 24th overall, I took Garrett Wilson. I took him. That's my number 1 wide receiver. When it came back for me the next time, I took Rodgers as my quarterback, and I got crushed. New York loser to me, media bias, all this stuff. A lot of oof, what was that? First bad pick of the draft. I didn't. I did the double dip. I took Rodgers. I took Garrett Wilson. Winning the Super Bowl? I don't know. Winning the East? I don't know. I think they're going to cook. I really, really do. I thought it before yesterday and seeing that one. It's not just the touchdown. It's coming out. It's 2 prior catches. Those guys have a chemistry. You saw him on Hard Knocks. Rodgers says, he's asked by Sanchez, I think, who was there visiting practice, what do you think of 17? He's like, special. He's like, gets out of his break so fast. I think it's going to be a really, really big part of the season. I think it's going to be a big story.
That throw was so impressive because his feet aren't even set. He's literally fading backwards, and just a flick of the wrist puts the ball right on the money. Yeah,
he's incredibly good.
And what's fun to watch about that game was, from a Giants defense perspective, Wink Martindale was dialing it up.
The dogs.
The preseason and the first possession of the game. I'm watching the game, I'm like, there's no safety back there. They have everybody at the line of scrimmage, and they are coming after Aaron Rodgers. And that was fun to me to watch, not only from a Giants perspective, seeing Isaiah Simmons come in fresh off the plane, blitzing off the edge, but also from a New York Jets perspective. We've talked all preseason, not only about Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, but it was just like, who's going to be protecting Aaron Rodgers, and how are they going to be able to hold up against this rush that's going to be coming week in and week out. And I know we're showing Giants offense, and I know the Jets defense was unbelievable in that game as well. But it was impressive to me because I'm like, all right, we know Aaron Rodgers is going to be cooking, but he's doing this against a defense coming at them in the preseason. You don't always plan for blitz zero where you're bringing more guys that it can rush, and we saw Rodgers have to scramble out. But it was fun seeing him being able to connect with his teammates. He wasn't going off on any of the offensive linemen. It got off to a fast start, and it's enough for us all to be excited.
Giants
Week 1,
play
Buffalo
no starters and just send the dogs.
Send the dogs. Let's see what you can do.
Make him run for it. Make him run for his life. Aaron Rodgers, whether or not you like it, you have to acknowledge he leads the league in body language that we care about. And what I have appreciated most about him in the preseason when he was not playing, and then seeing him play on Saturday night, was and I hate to insult his time, the back end of his time with the Packers this way, but he looks like he cares. And I really appreciate that about him, because I had kind of forgotten what that looks like, honestly. When he would scramble the way he did before he threw that touchdown, I think it was the series that ended on a 3rd down, and he's getting knocked out of bounds, and the guys are chasing him down. We used to wait for the camera angle of him just tipping his head back, looking up at the sky, shaking his head in dismay. You didn't see any of that. He got up, he shrugged. I get it, it's a preseason, but we had seen that for really 3 to 4 years in Green Bay. Frankly, it probably lined up when Jordan Love got drafted. But to see this catch, to see this pitch and catch, it was beautiful, but I really enjoy seeing this person. It is a resurgence of Aaron Rodgers of yesteryear. And also Garrett Wilson, shout out for not showing his hands on that catch until the very last second. I think that also made it very difficult, which means they've done it a lot. But body language cam, appreciate what Aaron Rodgers is putting out there.
Yeah, and he's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. Remember, this is a really young team. Aside from maybe C.J. Mosley and Randall Cobb, I'm looking on that roster, and it's guys in their early 20s. So you're talking about Sauce and Garrett Wilson and then you go like Breece Hall and Michael Carter. These are kids, and Rodgers is 39 years old, and maybe the most important kid on the team is the right tackle, Makai Beckner, and that he's going to be protecting Aaron Rodgers. And I thought Rodgers had really eloquent and beautiful things to say about Becton, who the last 2 years has been MIA on the field. Here's what Rodgers said about Becton, who was announced as a starting right tackle after the game. Remember, a former top 15 pick for the New York Jets.
I told him I love him. I mean, he's come a long way. Really proud of him. As much as anybody on the team, The way that Makai has grown this month has been really spectacular. And I don't know if you guys get the chance to talk to him a whole lot, but I just feel like his head's in a really good spot. And he feels like he's a part of it. He's been playing well. I'm not sure, what the film's going to show, but it felt like out there that he protected well. He's a mountain of a man. He leads us on the field. It's like, old school battles where you send your biggest guy out first, and there's Makai, leading us on the field. It's pretty cool. But it is amazing to see when you empower people, when you encourage people, and you wrap your arms around people, you see the personality start to come out. You see the confidence start to grow. And I think that's what we've tried to do with Makai, and make him feel like he's a part of this and make him feel important. And he's returned that love and trust and support with a lot of really good play.
You really have to unpack it and know the Makai Beckner story. Right. His first 7 games in the league, there might have been no better rookie performer out of the offensive tackle position in recent history. Overweight was the words, lazy was the words, felt it on social media. He would always respond on social media. There were T-shirts he made. There was attacks from Jets fans. And then when this offseason started, it was like, here's Rodgers, but who's protecting him? And people would say Makai Beckner. People would give a side eye and say, is Makai Beckner really going to be ready? Mm-hmm. The fact that he is starting at right tackle and that Rodgers is speaking to him in such glowing terms, I think that's a huge win for Jets fans. Again, August 28th, let's see. And after week 1, if Rodgers is sacked 3 times by Boogie Basham and Greg Rousseau, then we'll maybe talk a different tune. But I think right now, that's a real big win to have that 6'7" monster be in a good place and for Rodgers to be protected by him and be all in his corner. And really, as you said, you want to empower him, and he's doing that.
It's amazing. Even you look at Rodgers, it's almost like the Jets have empowered him. He comes over. You look at Randall Cobb coming on, Alan Lazard coming. His guys are coming with him, and they're allowing him to be a part of that decision-making. And we're seeing the love from Rodgers, similar to when Brady left to go to Tampa, getting Antonio Brown to come with him. Just like you get Gronk, you get these quarterbacks out of Hall of Famers, and now you take them places where they're getting to make decisions. It seems like we're seeing different versions of them.